Okay, so we are going to solve this problem. And it says that you are designing a miniature garden with a scale factor of 1/4 or 0.25 compared to a real garden. The real garden has a rectangular flower bed, and remember, a flower bed is the place. It's like box shaped where you put the soil of the garden, so it's basically a rectangular prism, uh, which is 9 meters long, 3 meters wide, and 0.2 meters deep. Okay, and the first like thing that you had to do was to draw the real flower bed and label it with a measure. So it's basically a box-shaped flower bed, um, and basically, let's put the measures: 9 meters long, 3 meters wide, and 0.2 meters deep. Okay, so that's the first thing that you had to do. Then we had to calculate the volume of the real flower bed, and remember, the volume of a rectangular prism is just multiplying the length times the width times the height, which in this case we already know. So the volume of this thing is going to be, okay, give me a second, 9 times 3, 27, times 0.2, excuse me, that's the wrong result, I didn't put the 0, 9 times 3 times 0.2, 5.4 cubic meters. That's the volume of the first one. Okay, so then we have to draw the miniature flower bed and label it with the measures. So remember, the scale factor is 1/4, which we take into account for length. Okay, um, so that means that if you multiply all of these measures times 1/4, you will get the new measures. So basically, you just had to multiply 0.2 times 1/4, or 0.2 times 0.25, which is, if I'm not mistaken, 0.05, but let's check it. Okay, let's check. 0.2 times 0.25, which is the scale factor, 0.05, yeah, meters. Um, 3 times 1/4 is 3/4. 3/4, or 3/4 meters, or 0.75 meters. And here it's basically 9/4 meters, like 9 times 1/4, 9/4 meters, or 2.25 meters. Let's confirm it. 9 divided by 4, yeah, 2.25 meters. Let me actually draw this better. Yeah, so these are the measures. Like, I know you prefer them in decimal version, so it's that. Okay, now determine the volume of the miniature flower bed in your design. So once again, you had to do the same. You could basically multiply these three measures, or apply the scale factor cubed, so like multiply times 1/4 cube, and you will get basically the same result. Either of them were correct. So remember, 0.05 times 0.75 times 2.25 will give you the volume of the new figure. We are going to do it. 0.05 times 0.75 times 2.25. You get a volume of 0.08437. Let's round it to 3 decimal digits. Cubic meters. If we do this method, we should also get exactly the same. So, what is 1/4 cube? That is 1 over 64. So basically, this should be found by multiplying 5.4 cubic meters times 1 over 64, which is basically 5.4 over 64. And what do we get? Exactly the same. Yep, so either of those two methods worked for this point because both are valid ways to find that volume. One with the formula of volume and the other with the scale factor with the similar original version. Now, you had to determine the length, width, and depth of the flower bed of a new miniature. So there's going to be a third miniature, which is which volume is 4/5 of the first miniature. So what's the first miniature? This one. So the volume is going to be 4/5 of that. Okay, so basically, if you multiply, I am going to do it with another color, this by 4/5, you will get the new volume. Okay, and with that, you have to calculate the base, the length, the width, and the depth. Okay, let me draw the new miniature and let's find the measures. I'm sorry, this is not resulting really beautiful, but it works for now. So we have to find this measure, and this measure. Okay, so first of all, let's find the new miniature volume. Okay, so it's basically multiplying this by 4/5, which is 0.8. So let's do it. 0.84. We are going to use an approximation. Okay, we are going to use this approximation. 0.084 multiplied by 0.8, which remember it's 4/5. That gives you 0.0672. Anyway, that's the exact, but remember this comes from an approximation, so it's not the exact value, but it's really close. Now, sorry, this is cubic meters. Now we have to find these measures. Okay, and basically what we do is taking the measures of the first miniature, these three that we have circled, and multiplying it by the scale factor, but be careful. This is the scale factor of the volume. So whenever you want to find, multiply this to find the length, we have to do it with the cubic root of the scale factor, cubic root of 4/5 or cubic root of 0.8. Okay, so that's the same for all of it. Okay, multiply by the cubic root of 4/5, and let me do it with another color. this one multiplied by the cubic root of 4/5. Okay, so what's the cubic root of 4/5? What's the cubic root of 0.8? Excuse me, cubic is with C. Okay, it's approximately 0.92. So we are going to use that approximation, 0.92. It's not exact. Remember, it's an irrational number. Uh, we can clearly see it here, and it even continues, but it's good enough for us. So basically, let's do it one by one. 0.25, which is this measure, this one, times 0.92. Excuse me. Once again, 2.25. Excuse me, I said the wrong number. So it is 0. Sorry, 2.07. 2.07 meters. Now, 0.75 times 0.92. 0.69 meters. And 0.05 times 0.92, 0.046 meters. And those are the new measures of the second miniature.